dead, Jim. He's dead, Jim. Up your shaft. Up your shaft.
Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley, the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Original Series rewatch, recap, and somewhat review podcast, where every week myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my intrepid co-host...
Hey everybody, it's Al Hirt here. What's up?
Mr. Al Hirt. I'll tell you what's up, buddy. We are talking about the second half of Season 3 of Star Trek The Original Series. If you're a regular listener to the podcast, welcome back. Thank you. Of course, please rate, review, subscribe, etc.
Hey, how's it going?
And welcome back. You know the score. This is part 2 of our Season 3 wrap-up.
Yeah.
Where we're going through the episode titles and descriptions and such for Season 3, and we're just kind of seeing what we remember, what we liked, what we didn't like. Pretty open conversation, but we're just ticking off the episodes and chit-chatting about them.
Right.
What were some of the standouts from last week's episode for you, Al?
Last week's, it was definitely Tholian Web because of the whole, interfacing stuff and the freakouts. The other one, though, that we ended up liking, we ended up hating, it was like a hate-like. All those children, and the children shall lead.
And the children shall lead.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. But then, I guess, let's see, what's the best of the latter half? It was probably Tholian Web. I guess, no, I remember liking another one more.
Well,
Wink of an Eye was interesting.
Wink of an Eye
Just
is
a lot
good.
of the resolutions ended up being pretty simple.
Like when Kirk was holding his dead wife, his pregnant dead wife in his hands as the credits
that
played.
That one was definite. What was it? Where he's a Native American.
I can't remember
was ridiculous
the title.
One.
I'm very bad. We talked about this literally an hour ago.
Yeah.
But
No, and I was just reading these next ones, though, actually, Adam, and I was like, no, this is when it turns up. These are the better ones. Yeah.
These are not Spock's brains.
Yeah, no. We went through all that.
This is not a repeat of Spock's brains. Which brings us to Season 3, Episode 12, which aired on December 6th, 1968. One of our last episodes before we get to 1969. This is The Empath. So, Al, what do you remember about The Empath? Oh, look at that totally unremastered shot, dude. Look at that shit.
Oh,
look at how
this
not
is when,
remastered that is.
Kirk, Bones, and Spock land on some planet, and then they get, captured in this super dark space.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, no, they go into this base because they find out scientists are missing from their post or something.
Yeah,
and then they find some recording of the said scientists disappearing. And they're like, whoa, how'd they disappear? And then they get disappeared and taken. And there's, these big gray head aliens that are, torturing them, I guess.
They are...
But it's, trying to get something from their pain.
So they're studying them.
They're studying they're torturing them and seeing what the empath, this lady that comes out of nowhere, Gem, what she does with them too, right?
She's
a bit of both.
So this episode's fucked up. It takes place just like the Wild West episode. It's one where they didn't have money to pay set designers, so it's basically it's black sets with just a box or a set piece here and there. And it's Spock, Kirk, and Bones, I believe, are with this Gem lady. And she's an empath, like so many people in Beverly Hills. And she's an empath, like every person in Eagle Rock, California. And she is being tested by these aliens because she is the representative for a race of people on a planet. And the planet is going to be destroyed by a nova. And these walnut head aliens have only the resources to save one race from the 5 races that are going to get wiped out by this supernova. And so they're
trying to pick the
testing
best
her.
one.
Well, they're trying to pick like the kindest, most empathetic one. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And by torturing these prisoners, they're seeing how she cures them.
She's seeing they're seeing how she would use her powers for good, but ultimately the scientists say, no, she didn't learn anything. She didn't succeed. She wasn't really willing to sacrifice herself, or she didn't sacrifice herself soon enough.
Yeah.
But then
when
she did.
Literally does.
Yeah, then she did. And they're like, but she did, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And if I recall, do you remember what happens? Does Kirk convince them to save her race?
I think they only end up saving one race, which is hers, because Kirk literally gives her his wounds, you know?
Yeah, the Vians is what they're called, are not convinced.
Right. And then they leave.
But Kirk admonishes them that the Vians have no ability to understand the emotions they expect from Jem. The Vians understand what Kirk is saying and decide to save Jem and her species. They return Kirk. Isn't that nice of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy to help kill those other species that are going to be killed by the Nova?
Yeah,
like that's
right?
what they did just now. You know, they helped Jem's empath race fucking survive while the others will burn in the fire of a fucking supernova.
I think it was like part of the gimmick too, where it was like that it was all in this big, dark, creepy room, and you didn't really know what was going on. And there was just this one slab where everybody laid on after they got tortured.
Right? Yes.
It was a strange episode.
They had a weird lounge in the middle of a totally dark theater space in Burbank.
Yeah.
All right. So, and I thought that one was all right. I can't remember what I gave it.
I think it was pretty dull. I remember just because things weren't too much happening in between, and then they saw their little glass prisons with their names on top. They're like, oh shit, that's mine.
Oh yeah, the glass prisons where they're going to store them for their experiment. Catherine Hayes played Jem, the mute.
Ah,
the
yes.
mute. Oh, and the empath was mute. We didn't mention that. She
did a great job.
She could not speak, but she was good. And also Davis Roberts. Wow, they were there to check on these scientists, and they found those scientists in tubes with their names on it. You mentioned that earlier, but I just felt it must. Dr. Ozaba. I love it. That was the empath. And then next it would follow in order of numbers and math. Would be a bonkers-ass motherfucker of an episode that aired December 20th, 1968, called Elan of Troyus.
Yeah, this is so weird.
This episode was not good. I am willing to say we did not give this one favorable ratings.
Yeah, I think the only funny part was when... Oh, there was because this princess was being rude, right, for some political marriage. Like she's getting set up on, and she's going through Starfleet or whatever to help accompany her. But Nurse Chapel's like, God, these Tholians are so awful. Like, how does anybody get along? Or what was it?
Not Tholians. Yeah, the Tholians
it?
are the web. It's they're okay.
What are they called?
They're called Elasians.
Elasians. No, and it was Bones was like, oh, they got to cry on them or whatever, and then that was the best part.
They didn't know that though. So what they found out. They found it out too late. But you'd think they would have known that because if they'd studied the planet, that's like part of the lore.
No, the person that accompanies them tells them that. That's right.
Right? And while transporting an arrogant, demanding princess for a political marriage, Captain Kirk must cope both with her biochemical ability to force him to love her, as well as sabotage on his ship. That's it. He pronounces it sabotage.
Sabotage. Yeah,
that's the word you were trying to think of last episode. Sabotage.
Sabotage.
And also the guy who plays the blue alien.
I forgot his name. He does a really good job.
Oh no, he's Crichton. Tony Young. Yeah, he was good. Good stuff.
Yeah, it was some weird drama, and then it's like you see that clearly Kirk and the princess Elan, they hook up, and then Kirk just casually answers a call.
Right?
Because he it's so weird.
It's Petrie from Petrie is Jay Robinson. He's the guy who plays the. So basically the Princess Ilan. It's kind of like a Deliza Doolittle situation. She is being trained in the customs of her enemy's ways because she has to marry this prince or whatever.
Yes.
And it's going to stop this war. But then she gets enamored with Kirk, and Kirk is also like the only man to ever stand up to her.
And touch her tears.
And then you find out he touches her tears, and then she can control his love muscle, his heart. And
Spock and Bones like literally catch him making out with her, and they're like, "Hey man, what's going on?"
Oh, and then at the end they make him an antidote for the tears that he could just take and forget her, but he chooses not to.
No, I think Bones offers it, and Spock says no. One of them says no, and Spock's like, "What the?" Or Bones says, "What the hell? Why don't you give it to him?"
Kirk delivers Elan to Troyes, and they both promise to remember each other.
That's probably why then.
And remember she had dilithium crystals around her neck,
and that's all the
and then they
people
found out,
needed.
They're like, "Oh wait, no, her planet's got a bunch of dilithium crystals. Yeah, they're cool now. They're not just savages we want to eradicate. They have something we need."
Yeah, that's how they get out of there. With fuel.
There's such a great sequence in that episode of Scotty, and he's putting the crystals together in the little warp tube, he's like trying to stack them so that they conduct things properly.
See, there's some bits and pieces that are
great.
good.
And there's Kryton who's running around sabotaging, and then he kills himself before Kirk can Yeah, dude.
I remember that part vividly. I was like, that part's pretty dark.
All of the Kirk and Elan stuff makes me cringe until I fucking pass out,
It's pretty bad. I think it's funny how it ends up happening and like the whole gimmick and how they build it up. Like I was saying with Nurse Chapel and Spock finding out with the Petrie. Petrie's like, yeah, they touched her tears and that's how they fell in love, you know?
Whatever you do, don't let the captain touch her fucking tears. I probably should have mentioned that before she was crying all over everything. But yeah, that's Elan of Troyes.
Okay.
Eliern of Troyes. That was lucky number 13. Which brings us to another heavy metal album title. Like all of these could be King Gizzard album titles. And this is the first episode of the new year, January 3rd, 1969. Season 3, episode 14, Whom Gods Destroy.
This was a pretty good episode.
This was a good one.
It was like Saturday morning cartoon-esque.
They were cooking.
But it was very entertaining. I think the funniest part that me and Adam both laughed at was like when the main villain was trying to beam himself on the ship, disguised as Kirk. And Scotty's like,
would not give the code word.
Yeah, it was a chess move, a response to a chess move. And he just would not be able to get on the ship without the code word. He just got so mad, and we were
so
like,
many
wow,
times he tried. It's like, we still need the code word, dog. That's the point.
No, and it was like the first time I feel like the enemy's really been thwarted immediately. I mean, I guess
over again. He never even came close to winning.
Exactly, and we see people like take over the Enterprise very quickly in this show. So it was a very nice change of pace.
The Enterprise is not a discerning mistress. That is for sure. And I love all the Kirk on Kirk stuff when he's fighting himself. But one thing I want to point out, so to kind of organize our thoughts without doing any real research, I've got the IMDb up for each of these episodes, and it's playing a clip, and they just look fucking terrible because they're not the remastered ones that we watch.
Yeah.
So like, just imagine watching that on a TV when you're a kid, just seeing that horrible grain. It's so awesome. I think it's neat to see these videos of the original.
The reason why we build this up though is this episode is because I was just reading the plot. The setup's good. They go and visit an insane asylum for the criminally insane. And because this is the future, it's like, quote unquote, insane people can't exist. So there's only like 8 or 9 of them. So they must be really crazy,
there's only 9 kooks in the entire universe.
Exactly. That was the whole gimmick.
I don't think I said the title of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Whom Gods Destroy.
Whom Gods Destroy.
Continue.
Yes. So then the whole thing was that the Starfleet doctor that was looking over the facility, like, is guiding them through. But then as, Kirk and the gang walk up to one of the prisons, it's like, dun, dun, dun. It's the Starfleet health guy, the prison psychologist,
warden. The prison warden,
yeah.
basically, /
and
psychologist.
Then the twist was that, the, what's his face? Garth, the villain,
most
was
imposing.
Using the cloaking thing the whole time, and that's the first twist.
I love this episode. Yeah, he's
it's
like body form.
It's immediately off the wall bonkers.
He's got shape changing technology, and here's what I love about this episode. So much of it happens off screen because like they get into Garth's backstory. Like he was going to try and cure this planet by like killing a bunch of people. He's basically like Thanos. Yeah, he was basically like a Thanos kind of thing, and they stopped him, and that's why he got put in prison. And it's just like Kirk mentions, like, you were a great captain, and it shows you how even like a Starfleet, how just dumb and evil Starfleet people can be too, because he was like one of Starfleet's best and brightest. He taught at the academy and shit. And then it turns out he was just a genocidal maniac. Oh, and Key Luke, the guy who played the old man who ran the thrift shop in Gremlins, is in this episode as the
warden.
Yeah, he's the administrator. And there's a green lady. There's a jolly green giantess lady who's regular size.
Yes. No, I think the other good gimmick too was that we were talking about how Garth was, arguing with his crew about genocide and stuff. And Kirk was like, I can't believe you would do that. And Garth's line was like, well, they just, disagreed with me. And I can't believe they would even think about that. And that's how I ended up arrested. Yes. And I was like, really? Like, that was it?
And he
just decided to try it, and just his crew being like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, man. And because,
go to the brig.
And so his whole deal was he got injured in a big famous battle. And while he was recuperating, he got like the advanced medical technology of the planet that saved him, gave him his shape-shifting ability, which also made him go mad. Mm. And then he was going to fuck shit up, and they did the Kajigger.
And they were thinking like, oh, what amazing things he could have done with that shape-shifting ability as well. Like he was the best at using that technology, per se. That's what they were mentioning as well, which is so ridiculous.
Right? And an interesting bit of trivia from the IMDb page. The plot of inmates taking over the asylum and impersonating the warden closely resembles Dagger of the Mind, right down to the agony chair prop, which is used from that episode. I didn't realize. I knew that it was close, but I didn't realize it was like that. In his memoir, I Am Not Spock, Leonard Nimoy shares a memo that he wrote to the producers to complain about the similarities. Just pick up your check, Spock. Just pick up your fucking check.
It sounds like Nimoy was the only one that was like, hey, come on, this feels a little gimmicky.
Nimoy, I bet the person who puts together the IMDb trivia is like a distant relative of Leonard Nimoy, and that's why it's all about him. What is that for goofs? Governor Corey explains to Kirk that Garth can change his appearance at will due to his control of his body cells. But that does not explain how his clothing changes as well. A typical hitch with sci-fi shapeshifters. That's not a goof.
Come on,
a goof is you see a soda can. A goof is you see a fucking soda can that's like from Earth now. A goof is you see the boom mic.
Yeah.
A goof is somebody says one character's name when they mean another character's name, but it stays in.
Yeah.
This is dorks picking out what they think of as plot holes, and I do not... Fuck you, IMDb. You free motherfucker. The website I've used for 35 years.
It is a dope episode, though, I will say. I guess it's just in terms of schlock. It just cranks it up, bro.
The guy who plays Garth,
goated.
Steve Einat, just absolutely destroys the episode. He's so good. It's so funny. His timing is great. He's just a dumbass, and he's crazy. It's good stuff. And also... they mentioned that it's like the plot from Dagger of the Mind. Like, yeah, we know there's other crazy people out there. They're in the Dagger of the Mind prison. Like, that was also a prison for.
Oh yeah.
Like it's hilariously similar. Leonard Nimoy, R.I.P. You're right.
Seriously.
Pour one out for a real one. That's whom gods destroy. And season, oh my God, here we go, baby. This is it, dog.
I don't know. I mean, people say this is their favorite of the season or like one of the best, but it feels like, we both said, it's very, slap in the face, like, hey, by the way, this is... does this remind you of anything? It's like very heavy-handed.
It's like the world you live in. You, the viewer. You.
Are you fighting with your brother?
It got out of 3,500 votes. It got it's a 7.1.
Slightly better though than the previous.
I think it's heavy-handed, but the people. So this is
the actors save it though, as I always say. The guest stars saved it.
This episode aired January 10th, 1969. It's titled "Let That Be Your Last Battlefield." Another heavy metal album title possibility.
Yeah.
And it's the Enterprise encounters two duochromatic and mutually belligerent aliens who put the ship in the middle of their old conflict. And it's the tuxedo cookie people. It's the black, half their face is black, half their face is white, which kind of makes me feel like half of them are in blackface. And it would be untoward today now that I think about it. And it's funny how they believe that duochromatic is like... So the people who have the black on the right side of their face are racist against the people who have the black on the left side of their face and vice versa, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's just this weird gimmick that both Kirk and Spock or all the crew is just like, that I don't really understand this.
It reminds me of the Rick and Morty where they go to the snake planet and Rick is like, oh, there's 8 million different kinds of snakes and they're all racist against each other about they're fighting a war about racism. Can you believe it? Being like, oh, you're the wrong color snake. It's like, you're all snakes. You're idiots. And the Frank Gorshin, who plays Bella, who also plays the Penguin in the Batman 68 Batman series. He is great in this episode as one of the black and white by a duotonic people.
Yeah, they're like, you monotone people wouldn't understand our conflict.
Right?
They're like, we don't.
And
it's so bizarre. The way the whole gimmick's... Oh, yeah.
The Riddler.
Not the Penguin, but the whole gimmick, though, of how it starts is that they're seeing something move in space that's coming towards them. Or like a ship
at a tremendous
that they stole,
speed.
But then like they both transport onto, or one guy transports onto the Enterprise and then the other guy transports after him, like following him. Mm-hmm. They start choking each other on the bridge or something. Kirk's like, what the hell's going on?
Yep. Wait, is this the right episode?
Let that be your last battlefield.
While on a mission of mercy, the Enterprise comes across a shuttlecraft stolen from Starbase 4.
Yes.
Its occupant is Lokai, a human who is exactly half black and half white. Soon his pursuer, Commissioner Bele, arrives on board, demanding Lokai be turned over to him and transport to their home planet.
So the second guy, though, he comes in a sick-ass way, or kick-ass way.
Yes.
He comes in with an invisible ship, and then he beams himself on board and crashes
the ship. Explodes, yes. Because they had to, like, lower the shields or whatever. He used that as a way to get onto the ship.
Pretty much.
And then the kicker, so they, yet again, another alien race just shows up and takes over the Enterprise. It really makes that one guy in the prison episode look like a dumbass.
Yeah, right.
But these two take over the Enterprise and use it to play out some age-old feud between their peoples. And then the Twilight Zone twist of it is the Enterprise takes them to their planet and everybody is dead.
Yeah, he's like, I'm taking you back to the planet because, you've been fucking shit up for a couple of years and you're a rebel and I gotta arrest you.
Yep, and they shouldn't have even... It was like
rough.
It was the Kirk was in like a tight spot because he doesn't want to be seen as either favoring either side because they don't really know what's going on. But Bele eventually agrees and requests Kirk to take them to Charon after his mission to Arianis is complete.
And as soon as they get there,
he fucks him over. That's right. They go on a whole other mission. And then after they get that mission done, Bella's like, I control the ship again.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then they find out that everybody's dead on Charon.
Yeah, Charon's on fire.
They died because of hate.
Yeah, and they find out, they all just destroyed each other. Mm-hmm. And then the first guy, what's his name? Loki? Loki freaks out, and then he transports himself to the surface of the planet, like running away in kind of fear, I guess, or, just turmoil of like, wow, everybody, like, this conflict doesn't really matter, I guess, except to me.
Yep.
And then the other guy, what's his name?
Commissioner Bella.
Goes right after him.
And
that's it.
The Enterprise leaves them to their fate and returns to Starbase 4.
Ergo, let that be your last battlefield.
There you go. And then, I get it. They've been doing this for like 50,000 Earth years or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't know that that's what happened. But if you've got the technology to travel, like, you would think that you would also have the technology to communicate back. Like, if you could, like, somebody would have sent them a text, like, or a subspace relay message that says, hey, everybody's dying. Maybe you should come back and help us.
By the
instead of chasing that one convict. And also, it's like, you don't really know, like, the one guy, was he a terrorist or was he legitimately rebelling against people that were fucking being fascist?
I guess what was good about the episode was, for one, the director decided to take a new take on it.
A lot of zooming in
on the alarms, which I love.
The red alert.
I really like the zoom in on the red alerts. Mm-hmm. But I also like, though, the fact that both parties were convincing people on the Enterprise to go on their side, and Kirk's like, all right, I can't have this, like, we need to get them off the ship right now.
Yup.
That was interesting. I did like that fuel to the fire kind of deal.
I honestly,
I think the ending is what hit everybody the most, though. I was like, damn, that ending's sad.
If I was trying to take over the crew of the Enterprise, the first two people I would try to trick would be Chekhov and Sulu. They are easily malleable brains. You can fucking convince them of anything, and they have important positions on the bridge. So they're good people to take over.
Yeah, they can spread that shit fast.
Let this be your last battlefield. Next.
Oh, this was a great one as well.
Dude, fantastic guest stars. Mandelbaum from Seinfeld. Episode 3, season 3, episode 16. Episode aired January 17th, 1969. The Mark of Gideon.
So this was about the overpopulated planet.
Oh my gosh.
And how they had to trick Kirk into a replica Enterprise and convince him, or some lady had to convince him to stay because of a disease that she had, and that they were going to use Kirk's DNA to help rehabilitate her from this disease.
But it turns out
overpopulation.
But it turns out that it actually the reason
the
they needed
inverse
it
is the disease, though. Like the inverse being them being invincible immortal. Yeah, excuse me.
So the people of this planet are, because of like a comet or something, they are they're because of the water that they drink or something, they can't die. And they're
overpopulating.
So they're overpopulating. And the whole time I was just like, stop fucking. Like, it's so stupid and simple. And because they say, Kirk even recommends birth control, right? But they're like, no, if you cut our vas deferens, they grow back together.
Yeah,
it's like too. You can't tie a woman's tubes because they untie because our bodies are self-repairing.
The other thing that we both scoffed at, he was just like, well, because tradition, and, it's the thing it's always been.
You should just fuck less. Like, seriously, your sperm, or wear a condom. Like, Kirk should have just this episode should have been like, Kirk gives people condoms, and then they say all babies will be, well, you can't really execute all the babies. I don't know what they would do, but the ones that are there. The point is, there's hilarious shots where they look out of the fake Enterprise set, and they see just a bunch of people standing around with hoods. And apparently that's this planet isn't just overpopulated, Al. It's not just like they're running out of water or some shit. It's literally there's too many motherfuckers and they all just spend all day standing shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like a nightmare.
Fucking terrible. It's like
main stage festival everywhere.
Yeah, you're just on the subway at your house at all times.
And at work and at the bank and at the grocery store.
And it's like an evil government group of government people that are trying to trick Kirk into staying there so that they can give him the disease of death.
I will say though, the Kirk, that Kirk plot line is kind of rough, but the B plot of Spock trying to convince the people on the planet to beam down is some of the best gags ever. Spock trying to be as nice as possible without losing his shit.
Yeah, the planet, the city has a shield over it that they can't beam through, and Spock is like begging them and thinking of every possible reason to let them, because they say, hey, yeah, we searched for Kirk, he's not here.
They're just looking for a place to go.
He gone. Just like the one where Kirk was phasing in and out of reality, it's another one where
they gotta look for Kirk.
They gotta look for Kirk.
Yeah, no, and this part's really good because Spock even calls Starfleet, and Starfleet's like, no, you gotta listen to the planet. Like you gotta listen to them. We can't fuck up negotiations with them.
Nope.
The fact that we even got, this far anyways is a miracle, so don't fuck this up.
Yep. And then it's turned out that they used Kirk to infect O'Donna. Spock disobeys Starfleet and beams to the location where they transported Kirk. Hoden reveals to Kirk that Gideon had a germ-free environment. Gideon's the planet, and people flourished. Birth rates grew and lifespans increased. I don't think that's what would happen though. So then they introduced new germs so the population reset the life cycle of an entire civilization. They're introducing new germs into the population to kill everybody.
Jeez.
And Hoden wants to continue using Kirk's blood to spread the infection and reduce the population. Spock arrives and rescues him, etc. And then O'Donna tells Kirk that now she can take Kirk's place because she's got his evil death inside of her. It's gross. I don't think that's what would happen. I think evolution would find a way to
just
kill you. Evolution would create a super bug.
They already tried to, tie their tubes and stuff.
Yeah, right. So they were trying things, but I just feel like they should have like abstinence. Like you should. And I should say that when I was saying Mandelbaum, there's a guest star in this who was in an episode of Seinfeld, Gene Dynarski, who plays one of the old weightlifters on a classic episode of Seinfeld that aired 100 years ago, and that was the Mark of Gideon.
Okay. And then the next one is That Which Survives.
Yes, which aired January 24th, 1969, Season 3, Episode 17. This is the one that's got like the Italian geologist who just beamed the blue shirt who just beams down to die. D'Amato.
Like, oh my God, I love all this geology. And then, okay. I remember this one. There was a planet that had a defense system that was too good for its own population or something, or too good for its own good, where it's like it was supposed to divert other people away from the planet because like the population was looking for a cure or something, but they never came back in time, so the planet was pretty much abandoned. And then anything that the defense system or robot lady touched, like that wasn't the target, they would live, but then the person that was the target would die.
Yes,
it's super strange. It was a very gimmicky robot planet episode.
It's all in service of the fact that this asteroid that they found is actually a ship. And it is, it was a generation ship or something.
Yeah.
And it's on its way back to a planet that it came from. And everybody's dead, and they were dead long ago. And this self-replicating lady that they've all been fighting, and many of them getting killed by being touched, is like a person whose consciousness melded with the computer, she's been long dead from this ancient disease.
Yeah, and the video at the end is basically her summarizing her objective.
What happened.
Yeah. That's a very sad ending. Like, a lot of these episodes have like, oh, that kind of sucks.
A recorded message
and then
comes
they just dip.
in which Lucira explains that the Caladans created this planet but ended up creating a virus that wiped out their race. The outpost defends itself against selective life forms and then itself. Good stuff.
So she was like, Captain Kirk, and she'd reach her hands out, and then Sulu would jump in the way.
Oh, it wasn't an asteroid, it was a planet.
Yeah,
but the planet was only a few thousand years old, it had full vegetation, and they were fucking worked up about that.
Yeah.
And it's because it was an artificial planet.
And also the other gimmick of when they finally get down to I don't know, I guess it's like the basement or the inner part of the planet. And the robot was like duplicating herself and going after all three of them. And so Sulu, Bones, and
they were like
Spock,
swapping places.
Yeah, Kirk couldn't defend themselves.
They were hilariously swapping places so she couldn't touch them.
Weird.
Very funny.
It was like
stuff.
a funny game of tag.
Very funny stuff. Oh, and there was also the ticking clock of the engine exploding on the Enterprise after 15 minutes.
Oh,
yeah. And Kirk surmises that the destructive power of the woman is aimed at one person at a time. And then they block Sulu, or they block people who are trying to kill Kirk or whatever, and then they multiply.
I think the funny part was that, but then we really I think we honestly just love the guest star that just gets completely wrecked.
Yes.
At the very beginning, the geologist.
Mm-hmm, D'Amato.
Yeah, D'Amato.
And also it's an Mbenga episode played by Booker Bradshaw.
That's right, because Bones is on the surface.
Whoa, Mbenga's name, the actor who played Mbenga is Booker Bradshaw. And an actor who is in Discovery, his character's name is Booker.
Whoa.
And he's also a black guy. And I think that might be a reference to that actor, that trailblazing actor, Booker Bradshaw, who played Dr. Mbenga on 5 episodes of Star Trek, the original series. But that was That Which Survives. Good stuff. Interesting shit. Lots of people falling over on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah, the earthquake was cool, I remember.
I believe that might have been from... Was there an earthquake on this one, too? That might have been a different episode, but...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
it does all look the same.
It's the same, but they made it quake. No, there is an earthquake.
Yeah,
it is this one.
There's an earthquake. Yeah, yeah, it's when the planet moves.
Dude.
There's multiple earthquakes. And
D'Amato is D'Amato is into that shit. He's a geologist. And then the next episode, season 3, episode 18, January 31st, 1969... The Lights of Zetar. Do you remember what this is about?
Oh, this was these lights are like literal souls, or the spirit of this expired planet from wherewithal or whatever. And they were calling out to Scotty's new girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Scotty was really butthurt about it.
Oh, Scotty was
and the lights started fucking up the engine and shit. It was kind of just like a ghost, phantom spirit kind of episode. There's a lot of episodes I realize where the spirit takes over the ship or tries to destroy the Enterprise.
Also, this is a Lieutenant Kyle episode. He's the red shirt guy down here.
Oh, yeah?
He's in a few episodes. John Winston. Yeah, dude, it's wild because there is this is when the twinkling mass of sapient energy, they call it. And Scotty and his girlfriend have a very weird relationship, and at the end it looks like they're going to get married and be together forever, and then they never mention her again in the life of the series.
Yep.
And it's a space storm that kills the staff at Memory Alpha. They're on their way to Memory Alpha, which is, interestingly, the name of the Star Trek wiki.
It's basically a big library, right? That is just pure knowledge.
It's a knowledge repository, yes. Mm-hmm. Central library storage facility for the Federation. Chief Engineer Scott has been working closely on the project with Lieutenant Mira Romaine, with whom he has been forming a romantic attachment. The Enterprise encounters a space storm that kills the staff at Memory Alpha and possesses Lieutenant Mira Romaine.
And the way they get it out of Romaine, remember, is with the
the
with
decompression
the pressure,
chamber.
Yeah, the pressure chamber.
They basically are like they think that the human body,
it out of her.
the human body can withstand more pressure than the aliens, and then it spits them out and they just bounce. Right? Or do they kill them?
I don't
what
know.
do they do?
I don't think they kill them. I guess they must dissolve and go someplace else. I don't know.
Oh, one bit of trivia is this is the third show where Scotty actively pursues a specific woman. In season 2, he wooed Kara in Wolf in the Fold and Carolyn Palamas in Who Mourns for Adonis.
See, I remember those distinctly come out in my brain because of how creepy he is, too.
Also, yes, he was an absolute creep in 2 of those 3 episodes, but this is an actual goof.
Oh, here we go.
At 48 minutes, for 10 seconds, Kirk and McCoy are speaking. Through the doorway behind McCoy, you can see a discarded newspaper lying on the floor that one of the crew members apparently left on set. It is still there at 48:58 for another 25 seconds or so. That is a goof.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a goof.
That's what we want. We've got Houston, there's been a goof. And they squeeze her, and you gotta watch. Like, I was like, are they gonna make me watch this lady's eyes pop out of her fucking head? Jesus Christ.
And she was just like, oh, I love you, Scotty, and she just floats in the air. But then, it was kind of a goof. Like, was she floating? And then her hair was like dropping down. And it was like, wouldn't her hair be floating too?
Yeah, probably.
But they weren't really thinking about that back then. So in '69.
Well, that's when they made 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Right?
So maybe
that's
they should get on that
everything.
shit. And then we get to season 3, episode 19, Requiem for Methuselah. Aired on Valentine's Day.
Gosh.
This is the Valentine's episode. Did we call that out when we first talked about it? It's 1969, February 14th. On a planet looking for an urgent medical cure, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy come across a dignified recluse living privately but in splendor with his sheltered ward and a very protective robot servant.
Oh, this was the guy that was like, do you know Da Vinci? I am Da Vinci.
Yes, he's the Da Vinci guy. Great.
Like,
James Daly played Flint. Fantastic guest star. Louise Sorrell played Raina. And she's like, why don't you let me interact with other people?
He's like, because they're evil. I know all of people.
I know all about humanity. I'm Da Vinci, God damn it. And so, this guy's like an ancient person who lived on Earth for thousands of years.
The good gimmick is as they're going through the building, Spock's like, these are, Choplin pieces or Chompin pieces. Chopin, excuse me, pieces. Chompin. And then, who's the other artist, though, that he recognizes? I don't know. He just recognizes all these artists.
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh. And he's like, these are imitated. And Brahms, too. He finds Brahms. And he is basically the greatest mind of each era, as the summation says there.
And these are new paintings by these people that Spock is seeing, but he says they're painted with contemporary materials. So it's like they've been painted now. I just love the idea.
Like homages.
I just love the idea that this Flint guy has been just like still painting and still fucking still writing music and shit.
After all the shit went down.
Flint reveals that he was born in 3024 BC in Mesopotamia. He discovered he was immortal and gradually learned to hide it. Took many names, including Da Vinci and Brahms. He knew the greatest minds of each era. He married 100 times, buried 100 wives. Wow. He wanted to create the perfect woman who could be her partner forever. Oh, yeah, and then he makes a robot. Raina is a robot that he's been trying to make a person.
No, and then the whole twist, though, is that when Spock and Bones, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when they walk in and they go into the facility of, like, all of the women that he's made, she's like V27 or like V17 or something. They're like, whoa, okay, she's a lot of iterations.
And then they get her with the does not compute. She loves them both, but in different ways. Like, she gets the idea of having fatherly love for Flint confused with erotic love for Kirk.
Yes.
And it's like does not compute. And
gosh.
And it's gross because Flint does want to have sex with her. And it's
of
gross.
Course.
It's
well,
gross.
Flint and Kirk both like collapse to the ground and they're like, oh my God, she's dead. How could that happen? And Spock comes over and he's like, in both of her love for you and for you, Kirk, she just exploded from the inside.
Yeah,
And they're like, what the fuck?
dude, that's definitely a design flaw.
Yeah, it was a weird episode.
For a robot you want to love, for love to kill it.
You know, come on, man.
And back on the Enterprise,
Write some notes.
McCoy figures that 30 years ago when Flint left Earth, he sacrificed his immortality. Now he's aging like a normal human and will eventually die. Kirk is beside himself with grief and wishes he could forget Reyna. So Spock minds melds with him to make him forget as per his wish.
Those little bits and pieces.
Wait, as per his wish,
yeah,
though. I thought that Spock did it without him asking.
No. He asks him. Because those little bits and pieces, I think, is what makes the third season really good.
But they let him remember another lady.
Of course, no.
It's weird. It's inconsistent.
Of course it's inconsistent. But there is one part where, yes, Bones, I don't know if Bones offers it. Or no, not Bones. Oh, yeah, Bones is like, man, I wish, Bones goes, Spock, you'll never feel like the pain of one's love or like the passing of someone, or you won't feel that hurt because you've never built that love with anyone. And Spock's like, that does sound awful. I wish he could forget about it.
Yup.
Maybe I should do something. I think you're right. I don't know if he asks.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of this Kirk washing
Kirk's
this.
Like asleep.
Email us at trekinthevalley@gmail.com, all one word, to let us know. But that's Requiem for Methuselah. Good guest stars, Spock on the piano.
Yeah, this was actually a pretty solid episode.
Bringing us to Season 3, Episode 20, The Way to Eden.
Oh, here we go. The rating, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a 5.4 of 10.
This is the Traveling Jam
on
Band.
IMDb. Yes, it's like their terrible version of King Giz. The Way to Eden aired February 21st, 1969. And it is about these space hippies that a group of idealistic hippies led by an irrational leader come aboard the USS Enterprise.
Oh, and they're trying to find a better land and place.
They're trying to find Eden. And here's the thing. Eden is like a mythical planet that Spock posits may be real. So Spock wants to help them find it because it's only logical. Yeah,
he's like purely curious. He's like, look, if we find Eden, they'll leave us alone. So why don't we just go? And Kirk is like, you can't. They're, terrorists. And I think, what is it? Isn't some son of the negotiator?
Yeah, one of the negotiator's son is
like
one of the rebels.
Right. And like while they're rebelling against Kirk, they call him like what is it? Like a hater, a square.
They call him Officer
Jeffrey.
No. It's an. Oh my God, what is it?
It was so funny though.
We talked about it a lot, but yeah. So basically, they're.
I'll try to look it up, but go ahead.
Yeah, they're calling Kirk a square, and then each one of the fucking invaders has like a ship crew member that they're supposed to like woo or court, and then distract. And there you go.
Oh, it's a Herbert.
A Herbert. They call him a Herbert. And then Spock explains it to Kirk that a Herbert's actually like a square, and it's very funny when Kirk's like, but I'm not square. So then they find this Eden, but it's a fucked up hell world where the plants kill you if you touch them, and a bunch of the cultists go down, and they all die. Some of them die.
Adam die.
They find Adam dead after eating an apple. Biblical. Mm-hmm. Severin burnt his legs by the acid in the grass, but he refuses to leave the planet. He eats a fruit which is also poisonous. He jumps up into a tree like a maniac.
Yes.
And then the rest of his ragtag band, they get out of Romulan space. And that all also happened in Romulan space because that's where Eden was.
That's why Kirk was nervous too.
And the hippies took over the Enterprise. Another episode. It's been like 3 episops since that one episode where the
one has shapeshifting.
The prisoner, he had shapeshifting even, but the hippies did what he could not.
Yeah, seriously.
And there's so much singing. There's like that Adam guy sings so much. Yeah. There's so many weird, and Spock jams with them on his Vulcan harp.
Yeah, this was definitely a dud after the sling of good episodes.
Hilarious and fun to watch, but bad on its face.
I was thinking though too. One last thing about that episode, The Way to Eden, was It was just so funny how, like, again, this is the beginning of the simple ending of, like, this guy, just this evil cult leader that's all smart, just, like, hops out of the ship, you know, like, when he's on Eden, like a maniac, and everyone's like, no, don't go over there. No, seriously, don't eat that.
And then he just
dies. And they're like, wow, okay, well, I guess that solved our issue. Let's get out of here. And all of his leaders are like so traumatized, or followers are so traumatized.
And it's funny because they were rebelling against a planet joining the Federation, and they were trying to sabotage and find...
So weird.
Just wild shit, dog. I think that it's probably better than a 3 or whatever, but it ain't no 4.
No.
And then we get to a better episode, I think.
Way better.
Called The Cloudminders. This is season 3, episode 21. It aired February 28th, 1969. And
basically class war.
Yes,
kind
it's
of
a class
deal.
war deal. There's a part of society who literally lives in a floating city. The symbolism could not be heavier.
Yeah.
And then there are the troglodytes,
and they live in the mines.
Who live and work in the mines. And Kirk and Spock are caught up in a revolution on a planet where intellectuals and artists live on a utopian city in the sky, while the rest of the population toils in mines on the barren surface below.
They get sicker and they get diseases because they're not living, you know, up in the good space.
Because the motherfucking ore that they mine is toxic.
Yeah.
And that's how Kirk proves it. Is Kirk goes crazy from the toxicity. And he beams the leaders of each faction, the sky people and the ground people, who look like Devo, by the way, the troglodytes.
The ground people.
And they beam them into a cavern full of the stuff that's going to make them nuts. And they kind of watch Kirk go crazy, and it teaches them that there is a thing. Yeah, Kirk, who finds an enraged Kirk due to the effects of xenite gas. Kirk and Placius fighting, and Vanna begs Spock to beam them back up, which he does. Vanna and Placius are convinced of the impact of xenite gas. They then get their mask on and they become pro-maskers.
Yeah, they exchange the xenite for the masks.
Yep, and then they're going to try and improve the conditions in the mine. And isn't that great?
They're like, well, I still hate you, but this is a start.
It is better for our peoples. And the matte painting of the floating city is great.
Oh, there's a really dark part, though, where one of the troglodytes are like... fuck you, I won't tell you any information. And he jumps out of like the castle.
Oh yeah, that's the one we watched before we recorded.
It was so dark, and I was like, wow, he really just ended it all right there.
One thing that I forgot to mention about a previous episode. Remember the one with the guy who had the robot daughter wife?
Oh, that's
the Requiem for Methuselah, right?
Yeah.
The reason they were on the planet was because that was the only planet that had this special fucking shit that would cure a plague that was happening on the Enterprise.
That's right. Yeah, we had back-to-back plagues.
Plagues, lots of plagues. And Cloudminders, anything else you want to say about that? The haves and have-nots fight over resources. Tale as old as time.
Yeah, I think the reason why we vibed with it a lot was because the script was really good and we understood, you know, class stuff was slapping us right in the face, and so it was very entertaining.
Also, they strap a hot lady to an obelisk, and you know I'm always into that.
Also, the effects, the way that Kirk was just like, all right, fuck this, I'm just gonna go crazy and prove it.
The way that Droxine, the princess of the haves or whatever, is like, well, surely the underground people don't want to live up here. They're disgusting.
Yeah, right. They don't know how to use this soap.
She acts like she's smart and sympathetic,
but then she what towels are.
She immediately reveals herself to be an asshole.
Yeah, of course.
7 out of 10 with 3,000.1 votes, 3.1 thousand votes on IMDb. The Cloudminders. All right.
Cloudminders. Okay.
Season 3, episode 22, The Savage Curtain. Here we go, baby. The Savage Meat Curtain.
Oh my god, this was Arena, but with villains and heroes.
Arena, but with Lincoln and
yes,
and so
the Vulcan leader,
Spock and Bones and
Surak.
Yes, Kirk and Spock are beamed down. So there's a planet that's basically all fire.
Oh, that's right. It's a magma planet.
And they're studying it, and there's been a rumor, like ancient rumors, that there's been society there, but they can't fucking figure it out. And then all of a sudden, in front of the Enterprise floats a transparent Lincoln.
Yeah.
And he invites Kirk and Spock to beam down. They beam down, and then, yes, it's basically this gross rock monster, turd monster, potentially, but I guess he's rocks. We didn't talk about
eyes.
that. He looks like turds stacked together with
Two
bug
little
eyes.
claws on the end of his doo-doo arms.
And they basically pit people. So this rock race, they, for entertainment, capture people who are traveling by, and then they make those people like fight the great villains in history to see how their philosophies are different. And I disagree with the outcome of this episode, where
this was rough.
The rock person is like, you both used violence. Both teams were the same. The team that had Space Hitler on it was the same as the team that had Ghost Lincoln. And it's like, no, the nonviolent people tried to like do things differently, and then they ended up winning.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't about, like, it did end up being a big fight at the end, but
it was so funny though at the beginning, because Surak was like, I don't get this. I'm a logic guy, so I'm just going to walk over there and talk to them. And Kirk's like, no, don't. Actually, you know what? We're going to sharpen these sticks just in case your negotiations don't work out.
Yeah, and then they don't work out. And then later, Surak sneaks up to or Lincoln sneaks up to old Surak to find him dead, and then it's an ambush.
Yeah, that part was really sad. Lincoln and Surak were just so innocent.
Right? Oh, and then it's all a game show.
And then the rock people are like, whatever, we didn't do anything. We didn't learn from that anyways.
Yeah, the rock people are like, yeah, you survived, so you get to leave, and we're going to let your ship go, but you fucking losers, you didn't teach us shit about anything. It's just, it's very much like the empath, where that alien race just didn't even know what lesson they were trying to learn.
Yeah, I think at this point of the whole show, they were just like, we gotta get something together. Oh, we need the effects team to do something. Oh, we got like this interesting plot of maybe let's get some cool costumes in here. Oh, they got this backup on backup on backup.
We have to mention
just all Frankensteined.
The teams for this televised fight are Kirk, Spock, Lincoln, and Surak versus two
Genghis
ancient
Khan.
Basically, it's Genghis Khan. It's a genocidal human from the 21st century. It's Kalis, a super ancient, a warrior Klingon, and then a Klingon scientist who let a bunch of people die in her experiments. And they fight with Lincoln and Surak and Kirk and Spock. And I think the rock people are wrong. I think they should have learned. There's hilarious shots where the two teams are fighting, and then it just cuts to the rock guy just like standing there, like not even rubbing his hands together. He's just like standing there smoldering.
Yeah, I mean, the fun part is like when Lincoln gets on the Enterprise and Kirk's like, oh my God, it's Abraham Lincoln.
And then we find out that Kirk is like a Lincoln fanboy, and that this Lincoln is just Kirk's idea of Lincoln.
Yeah,
and
that was
Surak
the twist.
Kirk is Spock's idea of Surak.
So they were just like, wow,
good.
Okay, there was no gun, specter of the gun kind of deal.
Right. But good, that
was solid.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I like all the
well.
character acting. I like Lincoln when I get him. So good stuff. And then the penultimate episode of Star Trek: The Original Series aired March 14th, 1969, season 3, episode 23. All Our Yesterdays. What happened in this one, Al?
This was a planet that was doomed to get a supernova or get some hit. But the gimmick is that instead of escaping, they escape to different times on
In
the
their
same
past.
planets, which doesn't really help the situation. But hey, whatever sci-fi shit they like, right?
And it also, they use it as a prison.
Yes, and then they have the whole replicant variation thing too with the warden or the librarian guy that runs it.
Mr. Atos.
Yes, Mr. Atos. Like, that's how they scare the crew in the beginning, is that, Atos just runs all over the place, and they're like, "Whoa, you're super fast for an old guy," and he's like, "No, that's just my robot."
Those are my replicants. And then
like,
and then Spock and Bones look at an Ice Age disc, and Kirk looks at a Pirate Times but on land disc.
Yeah.
And then Kirk thinks he hears somebody yelling for help, so he runs out of the library and he gets transported back to Pirate Times in an alley.
Oh, and then the whole gimmick was that they just had to walk right back in.
I was just going to say that, Al. They could have just walked back in. Lots of great costumes. Lots of Spock and Bones being cold.
Oh, that's right. They fight each other and they have a beef. But then another chick falls in love with Spock again.
Yep, Spock is a lady killer, yes. Oh, and Kirk meets a lady of the evening or prostitute in the alley that he thinks he saved from being killed. But then she turns on him and is like, he came out of a wall, he did.
Yeah, and then they call him crazy, and it was Kirk doesn't look exactly the greatest when he's talking to himself.
They're going to execute him for witchcraft.
Yeah, because they also hear the voices, though.
Yes, and so they think he's communicating with spirits, but he was talking to Scotty to Bones and Spock, who are in the Ice Age, where they meet a prisoner that falls in love with Spock.
The prisoner,
and she lies to Spock. She says there's no way you can get back, but she's like, actually, I don't know. You guys weren't prepared for the time travel, so you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, maybe you can try.
So much looking for portals. Kirk has to talk his way out of a Victorian jail.
Oh, and then the ticking time, though, is that it was kind of like Inception, because there's something happening outside of what they're in.
Of the time that they're in.
And they got to go back to do the thing so they can get out of the thing.
Yes, and then they do find out that they just have to walk back where they went in. And it's...
Again, stakes were very high.
It should be embarrassing for them when that happens.
That should be the first thing they should do.
First thing you try to do is walk back through the wall, Kirk, in the prostitute alley.
Also, though, the best part, or one of our favorite lines, I think, is as soon as they get out, Bones and Spock look at each other, and Bones is like, "Man, what do you think? You kissed her and you held her and everything. She's gone. She's never gonna be there." And Bones is Spock's like, "Yeah, you're right. It's probably thousands of years from now, and
she's dead.
She's dead. She's a cave woman. Just iced over. I don't need to care about her anymore." And Bones is like, "Damn, that's fucked up." And then they just leave.
Yep, and McCoy was going to remain behind, but Spock is forced to return to save him because they have to go out at the same time.
Ah, yes.
And Scotty beams them aboard seconds before the sun goes nova.
But they're just like,
good
damn, bro, this
stuff. Those novas are trouble, man.
Yeah, we don't even planets all the time.
We think about they say not even that many planets probably have habitable life. But yet they're finding ones that are being destroyed by supernovas every fucking week, a couple times a month. And then the show was canceled, and 2 months later they aired Turnabout Intruder. This is the episode we talked about 2 weeks ago on the show. I love it. Kirk's insane ex-lover, Dr. Janice Lester, forcibly switches bodies with him in order to take command of the Enterprise.
Yeah, we got more body swap in. What is it? I mean, I guess it's kind of shape-shifting, but she had already had the trust of the Starfleet and stuff, right?
Yes, body swapping is not shape-shifting, okay? Just so we're clear.
Well, it's just technically... you're right.
They're two sci-fi things. Related maybe for what's it called? Espionage purposes, but the reason it's so different is because the two to tango in a body swap, right?
Yeah.
And then so Kirk is trapped inside her body, and he's got to convince people that he's Kirk in there. It's good.
That's a really good bit. Yeah, I think the where it comes from, where the plot gets better and where the juicy part comes from is not the swapping per se. It's just the more of the fact that Kirk is trying to convince everybody from inside the other body that he's not her. And then the trial, too, and the whole potential mutiny. That was great.
That would be a 2-part episode nowadays. Really the stuff leading up to the trial and the trial.
It's cool how everybody realizes all this shit, though, by the end.
I like watching Chekhov and Sulu realize that Kirk probably is inside the lady. Good stuff. And it also, she did have the blessing of Starfleet because she was on a science team there.
Yeah,
but she and her accomplice killed everybody.
That's true. And they drove into like some atmosphere with some shit that was in the air that they knew would kill the crew.
Yeah, she convinced them to go to their death. And then they totally get off.
Super dark.
They totally get off. She gets just let go with her keeper who's going to keep her. He was like, do you think you can do something with her? And I just wanted the guy to be like, you mean make her not a homicidal fucking
maybe
ladder climber? Like you're never gonna stop that lady's mindset. You know, right. she's ABG, always be grinding. She's Janice Lester, but yeah, her and her the guy who loves her and who killed for her basically is they're then just gonna be on a planet together, I guess.
Yeah, it was just so funny that they were just like, oh, well, this won't bite us in the ass. You know, it kind of felt like the other guy. I mean, Khan, when they got rid of Khan on the planet to just, pretty much make him stronger.
Yep. We're going to hear from them later, that Dr. Lester.
Well, what was that trivia thing, though? It was some weird little bit.
The original series was canceled instead of coming to a natural end, and the idea of a series finale wasn't as popular in the 60s. Turnabout Intruder was closer to a normal episode and did not have finale touches.
Oh, yeah.
This is dumb. The remastered version of Turnabout Intruder ended with the Enterprise flying towards a colorful nebula to artistically signify the end as being the last of the TOS series. That is not what that signified to me.
Yeah, it was just like, this is a cool shot.
It was a good remastered shot.
I do remember you mentioning that, though.
They do call out a good quote. Scotty saying, "Doctor, I've seen the captain feverish, sick, drunk, delirious, terrified, overjoyed, boiling mad, but up to now I've never seen him red-faced with hysteria."
Yeah, Scotty's
That's obviously a woman. Only a woman.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you seen my wife? Have you seen that woman I fell in love with 5 episodes ago?
Yeah, seriously. And it was just, okay, I will have to say, for the end, I mean, they didn't really know it was going to end, but just for a final episode, that was a nice little, recovery.
Something with Kirk's past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes, All Our Yesterdays was so good, though.
It was. And
that's a bit, no, I like that one a lot.
Sandra Smith, who played Janice Lester, did a really good job of playing her as though Kirk was driving. She did some little Shatner stuff that was good. And Shatner acting like he's got a ambitious lady inside of him was pretty fucking great. I think that even though it wasn't a good finale necessarily for the whole series, it really did play to the strong suits of the characters. But no, Uhura was kind of a bummer. Mm-hmm. They whitewashed Uhura by having her play Barbara Baldwin, communications officer.
Yeah. What does Uhura do in the 3rd season? Honestly,
she's around for a few. She's in the background.
Episodes. She's actually, she got made out with Kirk by force.
Yeah,
which was rough.
She figured heavily in a couple episodes, but yeah, now that I think about it, not a lot of standout stuff. Not a lot of remember when she played the harp and sang to that guy who was alone in engineering in season 2, or was that? Yeah, that was season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
But yeah, and so that's the season finale. That was Turnabout Intruder. And so from here, for us, we're gonna do some more bonus episodes where we watch some other Star Trek content. We're gonna watch Generations to see Kirk bite the big one.
Ooh.
And then I feel like maybe we'll do some Lower Decks episodes or something fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm still figuring out the studio update and shit so that we can kick off Next Generation early next year. Mm-hmm. But watch this space, and every week, this week is no different, we end with recommendations for stuff. I already mentioned Lower Decks, and I know I've recommended it in the past, but the new episodes of Lower Decks are fucking great. You definitely need to watch it. Great Star Trek stuff. Great contemporary science fiction comedy jokes. It's just remains fantastic. And what do you got for us, Al?
Let's see. I mean, well, now that it's the end of like the spooky season, you kind of want to take a break from all that's. I was thinking, some New Girl was really, entertaining. Still watching Blue Mountain State. Oh, I guess, let's see. For music, Freddie Gibbs came out with some new music, which is pretty good. I forgot the album. It was called, let's see.
You wanted to mention that there's news that the director of Minus One. Right. So the director of Godzilla Minus One, Toho announced that he's working on a new Godzilla movie.
So we'll get the sequel here, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with whatever he wants to do.
True.
I just hope
that guy's got good vision.
I hope he doesn't switch it up too much. But you're saying Freddie Gibbs and what else?
Oh, it was just called, the album's called You Only Die Once. I don't know. I guess it was kind of like a late kind of fall kind of vibe. But I think now that everybody's going to colder weather, my friend always says now that it's colder, everybody comes out with their, weirder stuff. It's not like as uppity, not as poppy.
Oh, I've been out of
they always do the pop stuff for the summer,
I've been out of the new music game for a while, so it's hard for me to really notice that.
There's so many, dude. It's too hard. It's getting tough for me now, too.
I'm just now like, have you heard Chapel Roan? It's very good. But yeah, so that's this week's recommendation corner. I hope you had half as much fun listening to these recap episodes as we had making them. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much for listening. Whether you've been with us from the beginning or whether you're new or whether you're coming back to us now after finding out about us at Next Generation, you're listening to the old back catalog. Welcome, time traveler. And come back next week where we're gonna come back next week where we're gonna talk about Star Trek Generations, which I saw on an 8th grade field trip in middle school because one of the activities we could choose was to go watch a movie at the movie theater, and I picked Go See Generations, and I have never looked back. So
nice.
Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. Do all the stuff in the bumper. Bye.
Bye.
Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall-Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials. And you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking worlds.